What's going on, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in. It is the Sunday episode of the Crawford Chronicles. I'm still your host, Clues in Texas. We have Homer Chris with us. Subi Bones Bryles could not make it tonight, but I know he's probably tuning in. Since almost said fellas. Chris, how was your weekend, brother?
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. Yesterday flew by. I know we kind of talked about it on Thursday, but it's like after about a week and a half, it's right back to the baseball grind. I mean, we had select ball tryouts yesterday morning, and like I said, I mean, so now we're playing the waiting game, seeing what's going on with that. But like I said, unlike a lot of people, our off season lasted about 10 days. So we're back at it. Today was a, kind of a long day too, just going around doing stuff with the family. Astros got another series win, which, again, I was okay to be wrong about my prediction, but I'm at the point right now. It's hard to go against Crawford Damas because he's on a roll. Like, we went to the Space Cowboys game Friday as well. And he was like, oh, this guy's going to look at strike three, on the outside corner. And I just kind of looked at him real quick and then boom, strike three on the corner. I was like, you know what, man, I'm done. It's like, hey, what are the lottery numbers? But yeah, man, hey, how was your weekend?
It was good. It was busy Saturday stuff around the house. And then today we were at a beach tournament here in Lake City, where she took first place in that tournament, which was awesome. So she gets another bid to the national tournament in Virginia Beach, Virginia in July. We'll see if she ends up going. But yeah, man, just a busy weekend. And, like you said, I'm glad that we were wrong on our predictions. I think we talked about it on Thursday, where you're looking at the probables and your Spencer Arrighetti, was it going to be a game where he turned it around after his last like 4 starts? What was Tang going to do? Which, by the way, I think he now has corrected his pronunciation of his name. Did you hear this?
No.
Okay, so it's Kaiwei Tung.
Well,
yeah,
that's fair. Okay.
So, anyways, you had. Let's see, who did you have? Was Burrows pitch? Did he pitch this week?
No, I think you had Imai, you had Arrighetti, you had
Imai, Arrighetti,
and then today was Hunter Brown.
Today in HB, right? And so you're looking at that lineup, and you're like, what is Imai going to do coming off of his previous start? What was Arrighetti going to do? Is he gonna get back to the Arrighetti that came out of the gates at 7-1 with a sub-2 ERA? Looking to be an all-star pitcher, maybe starter. Was Tung gonna still stay consistent with his outings? And then was HB going to bounce back from the previous outing, which we all didn't really expect? So let's get into this, man. Me, Chris, and Bryles, we all took us. Me and Chris took a split. Bryles, Crawford Damas took 3-1 Astros. He wins again. Like Chris said, he is on a roll. He is on a roll. Like I think I might just start taking whatever he's predicting, and it's not going to help me because I'm so far behind. I need to he if he goes 2-1, I need to go.
No, man. I just updated the standings. It ain't as far behind as you think it is.
Well, so we'll see how that goes. But let's get into this thing. We got a lot to talk about. We got some trade stuff we want to discuss before we get into the next series that starts tomorrow. So we were on Thursday while the Astros kicked off this series. Ended up being a 2-1 low scoring game. Each team had 5 hits. The thing here was that Imai went 6 innings with 10 strikeouts of 2-hit baseball. Like that was the headliner for that. Just another, and then he also had a sweet play behind the back, nonchalant, almost to the ball away at first base, but like what's his name? Walker had to scoop it, but still it was pretty smooth. But that was kind of the highlight of the night was Imai. 6 innings of 2-hit baseball, 1 walk, huge for him. The walks have been kind of a thing. And again, he had 10 strikeouts. And then Blue Ball comes in for 2 innings, gets a hold, and then De Los Santos, he kind of bounces back and gets you the save on game 1. So yeah, man, what do you have? It really wasn't much going on. It was a pretty good pitching duel with the young kid Melton.
Yeah, I mean, and I think we talked a lot about it on Thursday. I mean, so I don't want to get too, in depth with this game. Yeah, I mean, it was a start that I think that Like we've seen Imai kind of have really good starts, but I think the big thing was always like he'd still have 3 to 4 walks. So I mean the fact that he only had one walk to I think he had 11 strikeouts or something like that.
10.
Uh, I mean or 10. Yeah, I mean that's awesome. I mean so like he's now had back to back really dominant starts. I mean so I mean it, can you expect him to go out there every single time, walk one, strike out 10 or 11 or whatever? I mean, probably not. I mean, but again, it's like we're saying the same thing over again. Hopefully, this is where he's starting to get comfortable and he moves forward and he becomes the Emai that pumped up the whole city when he signed. So, yeah, it was a good start to the series, and because the second game was a big bucket of no bueno.
Yeah, let's speed through this the second game because it was a disaster. All the runs were scored in 2 innings, and that was a total of 8. Arrighetti has another outing where he looks like me pitching on Hall of Fame on MLB The Show. Like not good, not good. So yeah, his final line was 3 whole innings, 5 hits, 8 runs, all earned, 5 walks, 7 Ks, and 3 bombs.
Mm. Yeah, man. I mean, like Spencer Arrighetti's been through it. I mean, and again, I mean, like if you looked at the way his first, I guess 10 starts looked, because he was 7-3 before his last, this little schneid that he's been on. I mean, they were amazing. I mean, like like I'm about to read his numbers over his last 7 starts, but I don't want to get too negative on them, even though because I mean they're not good. But I think the way the last 3 or 4 seasons have gone, pretty much since like the World Series in 2022. There's been this one pitcher to come out of like AAA or nowhere, to kind of hold the line down, hold the line until your arms came back, right? I mean, so I'm gonna, and I could be 100% wrong, but I'm gonna go on a limb and say that this is the Arrighetti, this is him, the this is kind of what we've seen now the last handful of starts. I mean, so his stats are his last 7 games. He's 2-3 with a 6.5 ERA. Now, I'm not going to say is he a 6.5 ERA pitcher. No. Am I going to say he's this Cy Young, sub 2 ERA guy? No. But what I am going to say is thank you, Spencer Arrighetti, for holding down the fort until Hunter Brown could come back. So before we, I'm not here to take a crap on this guy, but I will go ahead and say, hey, if it wasn't for Spencer Arrighetti, those first 10 starts, I mean, this is an Astros team that could very well, before they went on this late run, this is a team that could have been 14 to 15 games under 500. And we're having a completely different conversation than, what we're having about them being 2 games under 500, a wild card spot holder, and, a game and a half, 2 games out of first place. I mean, so again, it's easy to, take a dump on him. But again, if it wasn't for Arrighetti holding down the fort until Hunter Brown came back, I mean, we may be singing a completely different tune. And my other takeaway from that game is we got to see Jake Myers, the reliever, who, as a reliever, he's better than Jake Myers, the hitter. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, in all fairness, it doesn't really take much for him to be a better pitcher than
that's fair. That's fair.
But no, dude, the Arrighetti thing, I think you pretty much nailed it, dude. Like, imagine what this team would where they would be record wise if he wasn't 7-1 at one point with a sub 1.75. I mean, hell, even a sub 1.5. I mean, he was dealing, and that was when you were running out any guy that had a healthy arm that could throw a baseball, right? So. Yeah, I think this is the Arrighetti that he is. I completely agree. I don't think he's a 6.5 ERA guy, right? But this is the Arrighetti. This is what I think the real one is. Even though it was badass for him to come out and hold down the fort, because Peter Lambert's kind of that guy, that Jason Alexander guy that from last year, right? That is, he opted to stay. I think the Astros DFA'd him, and he had a chance out of spring. Or during spring to go sign with another team. He accepted the minor league thing, and then now he's up here. Now he's holding it down, in a rotation that desperately needs consistent pitching, and he's been that dude. So yeah, man, look, your bullpen once Arrighetti left in the third, it was Nate Pearson, Brian Abreu, and then of course Jake Myers, right? Like they allowed one hit in the 5 innings that they pitched, right? I mean they I mean not that it mattered, not that it matters. All the runs were done by the starting pitcher, but your bullpen came in and like held it down. And then even on the Friday night game, De Los Santos is the one that gave up the run late, and it was a home run, right? It was a home run to get it 2-1. So I mean, it's like you're in the first 2 games, you split the first 2 games, and your bullpen is giving up. Let's see, that was 3. Your bullpen gave up 4 hits in 2 games, right?
It's not bad.
That's not bad, dude. The bullpen has been freaking ridiculously good over this stretch of the Astros winning 5 series in a row, right? I mean, they have. It's just been amazing to see. So, you're on Friday night. You get your ass kicked on Friday night. You're 1-1 on the series, right? This is a series that you desperately need. Every series going forward, you desperately need, because it's going to lead. This topic is going to lead into what we're going to talk about here after these last 2 games, but it leads into obviously like a push for the AL West crown, but more importantly, on a closer note, it puts you on a path for now. You need to decide as an organization, what are we doing come the end of July, which we'll get to here in a minute. So let's go to the Saturday game. Saturday game, you had Kaiwei Tung on the mound against Framber Valdez, and you touched up Framber. He went 6 innings. You touched him up for 4 runs, but he leaves with the lead. You're trailing 6-4. 6-4 when he leaves. But Tung only went 3 2/3. Not a good, not the best for him. Hung a curveball, I think, to Kerry Carpenter, hit a grand slam.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I mean, dude, it was a submit mixer. It just rolled head over tail right down the middle, and he parked it out there. So Cam Smith hit a bomb in the second inning off of Framber. That was good to see some pop there. But the thing here is that Tung went 3 2/3, not the outing that you needed, because you had to go through your bullpen again. You sent 1, 2, 3, 4 guys out in the bullpen on that one. And dude, again, 2 innings, 3, 4, 5 1/3 innings from your bullpen, and they gave up 3 hits and 1 run. And that was on game 3. And you needed all that. You needed all those holds, even though only Brian King got the hold, but like you needed those holds, because it allowed Paney to have a night where he had 2 separate RBI hits that tied the game. Dude, what a good game. It was a good game because like the Astros were trailing and they kept fighting, and like they're chasing 2, they get the lead, and then they have a big 8th inning, and then Hader comes in, who's been unbelievable since he's been back.
Yeah, I mean, it was absolutely a back and forth, fight. I mean, and the Astros showed a lot of heart. I mean, so and that's one of those things that like we've looked at some of these games that maybe a month ago, where these were games that they would lose, because they didn't have that heart, they didn't have that fight, and it seems like everybody kind of did their thing. I mean, there was not one person that I can look through the box. I mean, you can look at the box score, but the box score doesn't always, kind of tell the story. I mean, but like, and those are the games that like, you look at and you're like, damn, man. I'm like, okay, all right, okay. And then like you said, man, the bullpen's been fantastic. I mean, like, for them to, I mean, basically 3 games in a row where you've had to come in, eat a big chunk of your bullpen, and they've really stepped up. I mean, and we talked about it on Thursday, how Nails' bullpen's been, how Nails Hader's been. I mean, it seems like the only guy getting touched up in the bullpen is De Los Santos, which I'm okay with. I mean, I think we had a couple of Brian Abreu sightings as well.
Yeah.
He might have, gotten his, his token Abreu walk, but he didn't let it, didn't let that run score. I mean, so, hey, I mean, it's good. It's good to have the bullpen pick up the starting pitcher when the pitcher's not there to pick up the bullpen. So, hell of a win. Like I said, the Astros showed a lot of heart, and, that leads right into today's game.
Yeah, look, today's game, you had to do the same thing. I mean, you're down 2-0 after the first inning. Well, after 2 at least. And you had to do the same thing. You had to claw your way back. Offense wasn't like incredibly like potent for the entirety of the game. You had a massive 10th inning, and that puts you over the top. And that came at the hands of Christian Walker with a 10th inning bomb off of Kenley Jansen. but Delgado went yard, Paredes went yard, and then of course Walker in extras. But who started today would be HB, the real ace of the team. 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, 4 Ks, and a home run. Like you said, Abreu came in. He pitched 1 and 2. He pitched 2/3 of an inning today, but he pitched, I think, an inning on. Yeah, he pitched an inning on Friday and had 1 K. Today he was 2/3 of an inning with 1 hit, 1 walk. Right, but Okert came in, did Okert things like he's been doing, just shut down. And then Brian King came in, and Hader, he tried. He had 3 walks, 3 walks in his and but dude, look, you went in and you handled business against Detroit. Detroit is a terrible team. They are not a good team, and I think the reason why me and you picked a split here, one, because it's incredibly difficult to go against any team and beat them 3 out of 4 or sweep. Right. And you didn't know what you were getting with Imai coming out. You were hoping he was going to have something similar to what he ended up having. Arrighetti was the same thing. Right. Tongue, like he had been consistent enough to where, like, okay, he can give us the 4 to 5. If our offense shows that, we can handle that one. And then you had a day with Hunter Brown. Like, all you got to do is give the man some run support and he can handle his own business. So what they did was they fought back today. They fought back last night. And they got those 2 wins to take the series like they're supposed to. 5 series wins in a row. And look, man, you come home from Minnesota. But the big thing is you got another series win. 3 out of 4 is huge. What did you see with today? And we'll get into these AL West standings, and then we'll kind of get into what we really want to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, like the main thing is, man, these guys are scrappy. I mean, like, like I talked to, of course, old man David that works with us. And he brought up a really good point. And he was just like, man, I don't understand why Espada, when Walker's struggling, why doesn't he swap the lineup with putting Paredes behind Jordan? So that kind of gives Jordan some protection. And then if Paredes gets into a slump and Walker, heats up, flip-flop those 2 back, so that way. And it seems like this series, that's kind of what Espada did. You saw Paredes hit behind Jordan, which kind of allowed Jordan a little bit of protection in the lineup. I mean, and you saw the benefit. I mean, Paredes went off this series, and I know Walker really kind of held his own this last game. So hopefully those guys are starting to stay hot and get hot at the same time to back up. That way, if you can have a hot Paredes and a hot Walker, dude, that helps Jordan out so much. I mean, because for a minute there, if I'm a starting pitcher, I'm just, or if I'm a manager, I'm just telling Jordan go to first base. So hopefully that protection is going to be there behind Jordan. But man, the kid I've been most excited about is I love me some Ronel Delgado. I mean, from and I'm not saying he needs to come in and be the everyday this position, everyday that position, but man, for what he's done, what's been asked of him, I think he's for him, his time in the major so far, he's passed with flying colors. And I'm almost at the point where I know that right now there's not really a spot for him to come in and play every single day, but I would really like to see what this kid can do playing almost every single day. Because if he can come in and just do what he's doing now on an everyday basis, I think that can make things pretty interesting with a guy who plays shortstop who you probably know you're not going to re-sign.
About 50-50 with that guy. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm just saying, and I'm not saying that if you put him at shortstop, he's going to make you forget about Jerry Pena. I'm just saying I would like to see a little bit more out of him. But, I mean, for what they've asked him to do so far, I think he's passed with flying colors.
I completely agree. I mean, he went yard in the 7th today. Yeah, today. I mean, and not just him going yard. I mean, like the dude has come up from the jump and been consistent at the plate. Been a good glove out in the field, right? He is on the cheap, right, relative to what Pena is going to command. I hope to God that we have Pena back next, when they come out of the strike. But he's a Scott Boras client, and we all know how that rolls. But dude, he has taken advantage of every single opportunity Delgado has since he got traded and since he's been on this roster. So, dude, it's like there are times when Dana Brown pulls something out of his ass and it works. There are times where it's like, what is this guy doing? In this case, Like it's worked out so far, and I hope that it continues to go, in the direction that it is, because that's just another. That's another lefty off the bench, right?
Yeah.
Another lefty
Yeah.
bat. He can. I mean, dude, let's go.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely makes you say, "Hey, Nick Allen, why don't you just kind of hang out there in Florida for a little bit?
Take your time.
Take your time.
No
go ahead
rush.
and do a 6-week fishing trip on us.
That's
Go
right.
ahead.
That's right. But look, man, we got about 10-ish minutes left.
Oh, we got plenty of time.
Let me update you on some AOS standings. We haven't even done this like once this season. Is let you know
That's
what
because,
the AOS.
I mean, yeah, it's like the Astros are in 4th, and back to you, PK.
That's right. That's right. So you are a game behind the Rangers.
Rangers are in first,
42-42 by half a game.
Seattle fans got to be kicking themselves, man. They had a chance to bury the Astros, and Seattle does what Seattle does, and I can't be happier. To be honest with you,
freaking love it. I love it. I mean, you think about where this team was. Think about where this team was, where it's been, where it's been, not really was, like where it's been this season. And you've won. You're 7-3 in your last 10. I believe you're 12-5 over your last 17, and I'm pretty sure I saw something that you have the best AL record in that, in that stretch. So I made a post. I reposted something. I think it was on Friday, maybe, because it was the standings. It was a picture of the standings at that point, right? And my post was like, "Hey, Astros, like, don't play with my emotions. Like, make a run and remind them." Right? Got a lot of, and that's kind of where I'm at right now, right? We went from the doom and gloom early in the season with all the BS and the injuries, and this offense can't do shit, and Espada, what are you doing with the lineup and everything, right? And we're coming up to your favorite time of the baseball season, right? July 1st is on someday this week. It's coming up
like in 2 days.
Like in 2 days, right? So you have a month, 31 days, 30 days to figure out where this team is going to go. And so I kind of talked about this on Thursday because I heard something on the radio at the end of last week, and it kind of piqued my interest. And so I know Bryles sent us a
hypothetical trade
offer, and we'll get into that. I think you have something, but here's my question for you, for the people watching, listening.
Oh boy,
it's like, okay, so I said on Thursday that these next 16 games, right, including the series with Detroit.
You say games or you said series?
Games, right?
Okay.
Games. The next 16 games, including the games that were the 4 games with Detroit, is going to essentially make you as an organization decide what you're going to be doing come the trade deadline, right? So, but even let's say you go, I don't even know. Let's say you go 10-6, 9-7, somewhere in there, right? Right. You're not. Okay. I'm not saying you'll be a world beater, but that would put you at about 500, right? Mid July.
Kind of basically where they're at now.
Yeah, you're kind of like holding down the fort, right? Maybe a couple games over. I mean, you're not. We'll see what the division looks like, but we know how this division is extremely weak. So my question is like, if you're sitting in that spot, let's say you're a game out like you are now, or a game and a half, right? You're buying, are you buying at the deadline? And my question is, if you're a buyer at the deadline, what assets are you going to be able to move to acquire the talent or the player that you need to make a deep run in the playoffs? Because as an organization, you don't have that top end, right? You're not moving Xavier Nance. You're not moving Uola. You're not moving Fleury. You're not moving Pecco, Kevin Alvarez. Like those guys, you shouldn't move them, right? But more than likely, you're not moving those type of guys, right? You don't really have the assets to really move to make a big move, because you do need starting pitching, right? I mean, you need starting pitching. Let's be real. I mean, you do. You could use probably another outfield bat. So my thing is like, I don't know if I want to be a buyer, even if we're in that spot where we're a game and a half out, or 2 games, or half a game. right? Because you don't have a lot in your organization to mortgage the future on, a potential a rental. So that's my question. Come mid July, if you're sitting around 500, maybe a couple games over, you're still in the race. Are you buying? Are you holding? Pat, or what are you doing?
Okay, man, like I have been waiting for this conversation now for about what 4 days since
Yeah.
Thursday. I don't know how many days, 3, 4 days. I mean, here's the thing, man. Like it would take a catastrophic, like half the team being injured for them to probably drop between now and let's say 2.5 weeks for
Yeah.
them to go from they're completely out of the race. So I think the notion of standings wise, record wise, with how hot garbage the AL's been, them being out of it, we can pretty much go ahead and throw that in the garbage. I think if they're within 5 games, whether that's wild card or if they're within 5 games of the playoffs, they're going to be buyers. Now, here's kind of where I I am called Homer Chris, right? But when I look at this roster, I don't like to be Homer Chris. I'm not trying to be negative Nancy, and I'm trying to be realistic Ronnie. That's what I'm going to be. So when I look at this roster, because it's more than just you need a starting pitcher. You need, I mean, like your outfield right now, defensively, fantastic. Offensively is hammered dog shit. And like here
Mm-hmm.
is your batting averages for your all of your outfielders. You've got Loperfido's hitting 221. Matthews is hitting 193. Myers is hitting 205. Your best hitter average wise in the outfield is a journeyman outfielder in Taylor Chamel, who's hitting 264. Cam Smith is hitting 218. Now, Cam Smith has shown flashes of why we were all excited acquiring him in the Tucker trade. My thing is trying to be realistic is, man, this season not feel eerily familiar to exactly around this time last season where
Mm-hmm.
the Astros went into LA. They completely donkey stomped LA, beat them 18-2. Zach Short was hitting home runs, and I couldn't even tell you who was pitching that game because the Astros went through 74 pitchers that season. And then they kind of tailed off in the second half because
Mm-hmm.
when I look at this, I look at the minor league system, and you hit on a lot of it too. Your top 5 prospects, the highest level that any one of them are at right now is Double A, and
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who it is. Your number 6 is Ethan Pecco. He's at Triple A, and I think right now you can't afford to move any starting pitcher right now that's at Triple A that could potentially make the jump to the majors. So, I mean, because you just don't know. I mean, we've had Javier come back twice now from injury. Within 3 starts, he was back on the IL.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think, and I would like to think that the organization's pretty high on Ethan Pecco. So I'm not against moving Fleury. I mean, I wouldn't want to. I mean, he pitched pretty well when we went to the Space Cowboys game on Friday. It's just that you don't have a lot of stuff to work with as far
Yeah.
as, you're not going to get that player that's going to put you over the top. Why? Because you need 3 outfielders, honestly. I mean, Cam Smith, again, like if you had better outfielders, Cam Smith would probably be in AAA trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce Matthews should not be on this roster offensively. I mean, so with what you have, what are you going to get? You're going to get the Mickey Moniacs. You're going to get super cheap outfielder that's playing a little bit above his pay grade. You're going to get that guy. You're going to get the Jesus Sanchez that comes over and then hits under 200 once he comes over in the trade.
But
I mean, you're
smiles all
not
the
going to
time.
you're not going to get the team that's rebuilding the all-star outfielder that's going to put you over the top because you also you could probably use another bullpen arm. I mean, I just don't see realistically, and I'm not saying screw it, start I'm not saying all that, but with what you have, you're going to get the guy, you're going to get the Kikuchi that everybody loses their shit about because you gave up 3 prospects for him. And he's a rental. That's what you're going to get. And like I
Yes.
said, your outfielder you're going to get is going to be either an outfielder that is playing above his contract on a shitty team. That's probably what you're going to get. So you bring in Mickey
Would
Moniak.
you be cool? Yeah. Would you be cool with Moniak? I'd be okay
Yeah,
with
I'd be cool.
Moniak.
I'd be okay with it. I mean, but I'm not going to sit here and say we're World Series bound
That's right.
because we traded for Mickey Moniak. I mean, I
Yeah.
just feel like you've got to figure this outfield out. I mean, I think you sold way too high on Jake Myers this past offseason, and he turned into Chas McCormick 2.0. I mean, we were like, you got to trade this guy, and you didn't because you wanted a young, controllable outfielder. And I'm like, well, that's great if you're trading anybody but Jake Myers. I mean, so I mean, like I would like to think that we're going to go on this miraculous run. I mean, I would love to be wrong, and I'd love for everybody to comment, Chris, you don't know what the hell you're talking about because we won a World Series. Shit, man, I would absolutely come on here the day after they win the World Series and said I was completely wrong. You guys have at it, but I just don't see it. I don't see it. I mean, yeah, I mean they're playing great now, but this is almost a complete replay of what happened last season. You know, granted, you have your pitchers are a lot healthier. Your team is healthier than you were at this point last year, but your outfield, man, it sucks. To be honest,
terrible.
with you.
And Jake Myers' shoulder is incredibly weak. His left shoulder, his arm, I mean, it is a noodle. I mean, it's a noodle out there, and it's a liability. It's a liability. I mean, what series was that? I forget. It was a home series, and I think the dude tagged up from third. No, it was extra innings. He tagged up from second to go to third on a shallow fly ball to center, and it was like lollipops because that's all he could throw over there. And then I think he ended up losing that game, right? He doesn't hit. Like he doesn't. We've known this. Jake Myers was a defensive center fielder, made great catches for us. Would run into one every now and again. Last season, he was hitting over 300 till his calf injury, playing way above Jake Myers as a player, right? It was fantastic to see, but we all knew that he didn't just come into 2025 figuring out how to hit major league pitching, right? So yeah, dude, your outfield's just good and not good offensively. I mean, you hit it the nail on the head with Cam Smith, and even though he is a potential Gold Glover out there in right field, if we had a competent right fielder that could hit, right, he would be down in AAA figuring out, because the dude's got talent, man. The dude's
he absolutely does.
We see it every freaking game, but we also see bonehead plays. We see base running errors. I mean, look, Jose Altuve, takes the cake with base running errors. He gets a pass for being Jose Altuve, but Cam has base running errors. He's got fielding, mishaps. He's got a cannon arm, right? He is fairly inconsistent at the plate. And so, I mean, he's your best outfielder. He's your best
outfielder. I was going to say.
Because you have no other outfielder to put out there.
No, I was going to say, he's done a phenomenal job transitioning from third base to outfield. I mean, like, I don't think you could have asked for anything more from Cam Smith in his transition from third base to right field. For him to be second? What was he, runner up for Gold Glove?
Yeah,
I mean, that's amazing.
Second or third, yeah.
I mean, so it's like, I mean, like, I just feel, and some people could say, well, y'all just want your cake and eat it too with Cam Smith. I'm like, I'd be okay if he was hitting 250.
Yeah.
I mean, but
Matthews has held it down and out in the outfield, right? He's held it down, but you can't run out. You can't run out three guys that are defensive minded outfielders, and it's nothing at the plate. You essentially have a 6-man lineup at that point, and we've seen before what happens when you get a lineup that's 7, 8, 9 is a freaking like consistent out. They might run into one, right? They might run into one and have a good game or hit a bomb at a critical point, whatever it is, right? Yeah. But like you can't bank on that come the postseason when every single pitch, every single at bat matters, because the situation is going to happen at some point in the game where those guys in those 7, 8, 9 spots are going to come out with an opportunity to take the lead, tie the game, whatever it is, and you need them to, and more often than not, it's not going to happen. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen in July. I really think if the Astros continue to get these series wins, right? And I mean, they've moved up pretty quick in these last 5 series. With the Mariners, peeing down their leg, Rangers getting a little bit hot. I think they won yesterday. I don't know if they won today. But dude, you're a game out. You're a game out of out of first in the wild card.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
It's wild. It's wild. But let's get into the next series. Starts tomorrow. I will say Bryles hit me with the probables, and then I'm going to handle it. So Bryles hit me with the probables. You've got tomorrow Zebby Matthews 3-5 with a 4.56 against this year's Costanza Peter Lambert 6-4 with a 3.28. Tuesday Joe Ryan. It's gonna be a tough one. He's 5-4 3.18 against Mike Burrows. He is 3-8 with a 5.48. I guess his last start earned him another start. And then on Wednesday, a 7-10 game, not a getaway, 1:00 one. Taj Bradley 6-3 with the 3.98 against Tatsuya Imai 5-3 5.36. And after that, you got Tampa Bay in town for the weekend. So big series next weekend. First, you need to handle this first one Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Bryles is Crawford Damas is taking 2-1 Astros in this one. Chris, what say you, man?
Well, I could say this, like, for a second, I closed my eyes and I thought Bryles was with us because that's how good of an impression that you did. So
I've been trying.
If things don't pan out here, you may need to go to Hollywood because
I can be the new Frank.
That was fantastic. There you go. I like it. I agree with Crawford Damas, man. I think the only game that I'm kind of worried about is Joe Ryan because usually he pitches very well against us. Yes. So I'm going to go 2-1 Astros.
Yeah, I like the matchups overall, except for Joe Ryan, Mike Burrows. I mean, it's just you don't know what you're getting with Burrows. You just don't, right? I mean, he got sent to the bullpen. He had one inning. He had like one inning of relief, and then that earned him a spot to start the next time when it came around, right? And I don't remember what he did in that next game that he pitched, but yeah, Joe Ryan. I mean, he's their ace on that staff. Even though it's Minnesota, they've still got some ball players. But Joe Ryan is a beast. Don't let the record fool you. He just plays on a shit team, right? But
That's
hey, dude, they're 40-45. We're 42-44. Record-wise, you're not that far off, right? So I'm also going to go 2-1. Peter Lambert's going to continue to do what he's been doing. And I hope that Imai continues to do what he's done these last couple outings. 6 innings of, 2-hit baseball. 10 and 11 Ks would be awesome, but like the two hit ball of 6 innings pitch with no runs given up, I'll take that all day. And then you got Tampa coming in.
That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough, man. Tampa's a good team.
They're in a fight,
they're
dude.
A damn good team.
With New York out there in the East. I mean, Tampa's 48-33 as of right now. And then just to let you know, Friday is an Apple TV game, so get your Apple TV subscription renewed so you can watch the game. But yeah, man, go ahead and throw these predictions out real quick before we get out of here. The prediction record. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, and I'm glad somebody's on. Yeah, like I said, it's a lot closer than you think.
It's still ugly.
Yeah, man. So Bryles is or Crawford Damas. Oh yeah, it's ugly as hell. But Crawford Damas is, man, I got to get my shit together because he's coming up on me real quick after all that stuff I was talking. And then PK, you're only 3 games back. I mean, so. There you go. Yeah, you still have a chance.
Yeah. No, this is a long season to go, man. It's a marathon, not a sprint, as they say.
That's right. I like it.
There you go, man. Big series against Tennessee. Minnesota against the Twins. You need to handle this series, go 6 series in a row, pick up another game, another half game on that AL West, and then, you're going up against a playoff-bound team over the next weekend, and let's see what you're made of. So, let's get out of here, man. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Bryles will be back with us on Thursday, I'm assuming. Man, just keep stacking series wins. We always say that. And 5 in a row, going for 6 to start tomorrow. I am one of your hosts, Coolest in Texas. Still. This is the Crawford Chronicles. Talk to you on Thursday.
Let's go, man. Let's keep on beating crappy teams. I like it.
That's right. And for Bryles, hook them.
That's right. Oh, man.